Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV on PlayFrame. Heavensward draws near, but there's still a bit of a realm reborn left, so let's get to it. A couple weeks worth, I would wager. Although it has been a while, and honestly, these patch stories have been getting progressively longer, it feels like, with each one, so I don't know, maybe a little more than 2 weeks, but I kind of feel like we've not got many weeks left. Minfilia is considering which of her many responsibilities demands her utmost attention. I'm most eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Derman, in particular, is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. Oh, sure. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the other thing, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raubon needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I'm to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Moonbreeda's research is proceeding as planned? So she tells me, though I'm not familiar with the details. Urianger is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it's only a matter of time. Derman, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his Braves with theirs? It would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Riol's latest report. He's proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Ul'dah riots. When you're finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. Oh, don't I know it. If there are any other developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Alrighty then. Very interested to hear this report. And also to see what everyone's up to. Scions! Derman has come to visit. Tataru, how goes? Hello, Derman. Are you sleeping well? You must be absolutely exhausted from saving the realm on a daily basis. Oh, I manage. Could use a vacation at some point, I feel like, but I manage. Ever since Moonbreeda arrived, the Rising Stones has been buzzing with excited energy. I must admit, her enthusiasm is rather contagious. I agree. She's great. Moonbreeda has charged us with acquiring some rather esoteric manuscripts, but I'm afraid the task is proving to be nigh impossible. When the City of Learning was abandoned, a great many tomes were scattered and lost. How smoothly our research might proceed if we were able to peruse the archives of yesteryear. How are you two doing? We needed a rare ore to modify the white orosite, and Thancred solved the problem using only his link pearl. I mean, it's great and everything, but where's the fun in that? When one is in need of precious commodities, it helps to have friends in the right places. Fortunately, I'm well acquainted with the charming daughter of a successful Uldon import merchant. Okay, well, you continue your story. I'm going this way. These two have been telling me stories about the corrupted crystal formations that appeared following the calamity. I'll need more data before I can draw a conclusion, but I'm intrigued by the potential of their untapped energies. Ah, nerd talk, is it? Hori and I were in Eastern Thanalin when the colossal shards of Dalamud pierced the ground. We stood witness to the subsequent explosion of ether and watched dumbfounded as the swirling energy solidified into those twisted crystal structures that we now know so well. It's kind of neat. I hadn't really heard the specifics of how those had formed. We were but stripling adventurers the night we saw fire rain from the sky and a pillar of light scorch the heavens. What a sight that was, eh, Coltene? Sounds like. Anyway, sorry, Alphino. Got distracted. People. Is everything in order, Dermot? Are you ready to attend us? Yes, I've talked to everyone else in the room. Your turn. Pleasure as always, Dermot. You'll be escorting the commander to Ulda, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you'd be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Dermot, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Dermot? Hey, you're the boss. Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you'd excuse me, I must leave for Ulda. I expect good tidings. You got nothing to worry about, I got this well in hand. Don't keep Captain Ilbert waiting for you too long, mate. He might have to start without you. Oh, we wouldn't want that, would we? Might as well be quick about it. There we are. They are quite a sight, aren't they? Hey, Albert. Ah, Dermot. My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the black marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he's hired more than a few men to stand guard. Common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a man of your standing, and Commander Levailleur needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. Well, thank you. Kind of you to say. Ilbert is eager to bring the black marketeer and his clients to justice. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Dermot. Right behind you. As soon as it lets me. And go. There you are. Boy, you run fast. I guess you had a head start. I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the black marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off. Good luck, my friend. Don't need it, but thank you. All right, let's see. It's a little bit of a ways down. Thank you, Quay friend. Oh, hello. Sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to, sneak up or anything, but hi, I'm Dermot. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damn fool, you should never have come here. You say that, but you are dead now. Also you. Well, that was fun. Oh, more of you. kill him and be done with it. Guys, come on. We all good? Worthless, all of you. This ends here. I agree. All good? Fantastic. All right then. Let's go catch up with Ilberd. Shouldn't be too far. Beat him here. I don't understand. What's this all about? Grrr! Ilberd? Ilberd? As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard, and to bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Leveilleur will be most disappointed. Damn it all. A golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how, they slipped past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking a party of dusk-white sellswords we suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the Immortal Flames, or the Brass Blades. Alas, we are here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we've secured the weapons. Yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. Kinda seems like a failed mission here. Despite the fanfare. So what now? Ilberd would like nothing more than to have this incident forgotten. I'll join the first in their hunt for the dusk-white sellswords. If the gods are good, we'll catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Ul'dah in my stead. Entrust them to the third's Yu Hase. He'll take care of the rest. Will do. Haven't seen Yu Hase since he was bleeding out in Kurthus, so it'll be good to check in on him. Come on, Quay friend. Let's go. Eggs everywhere. There's no escaping them. Oh, there you are. Hello. How's it going, Wilrid? Did you hear, my friend? I've received my first official assignment as a full-fledged member of the Crystal Braves. Awesome. Good for you. And you? Why, Derman, this is a surprise. Resh wished for me to thank you for helping us to rescue her from Castrum Sentry. How fortunate that we should meet again so soon. I agree. It's good catching up with all of you. Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever-reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. You've my deepest thanks for your assistance in Kurthus. Now, what brings you this day? Well, I've got confiscated weapons. Not as many as we hoped. Also eggs. Really adds an extra little something to the scenes, I think. A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilberd, you say? Understood. Once we've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Riol stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly, Riol's unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dah merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that this information was not so completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you've no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the ceruleum processing plant. Time for the fourth to earn their keep, huh? Fight well, Alian, for the freedom of all. What a good squad. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the immortal flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again. I look forward to it. Love y'all's salute, by the way. Dermot, a word, if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Oh, okay. So many eggs. There you are. All right, bud, what's up? Thanks for indulging me request. Few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. That's not quite how the first told it. These Duskwhite they were chasing. Latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw him yourself. Not before the fighting started and not after. Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in me bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. Humph. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's books, or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking Gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I have a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, best get back to it. Dermot, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you're able. Okay. Oh, thought for a second they were going to warp me right there. Nope. Gotta do it myself. Why not? We'll just go direct. This place hasn't been infested with eggs yet. I like the Rising Stones. Cozy and so much faster to get to. Spacious, too. How's everybody? You seem kind of where I left you. I'm just going to assume everyone's saying the same things. Tataru. Thank you for coming so quickly, Dermot. We've a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most, determined lady by all indications. Oh. Huh. Is Lucia here? Tataru seems eager to escort you to the Solar. Oh. Our guest is with the antecedent in the Solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? I suppose let's not. Well, hello, it is you. Good to see you again. Good of you to join us. We've much to discuss. All business, I see. At this point, it would be more unnerving if he spoke plainly. Is he being a handful? Have you two enjoyed your unchaperoned time? Unexpected tidings from the north, borne by the Lord Commander's second. What manner of wind bloweth this day? Nerd. So apparently, and I only learned this recently, and hopefully it's correct because I like it. Apparently, the canon explanation for why Urianger talks like this and no one else does is that just as a young man, he read just a lot of prophecies. He was just way into prophecies. He read them all the time, and now he's like this. Can't remember if I brought that up earlier, but I like it. Tataru. This is no time for idle chatter. You're right. Sorry. I like you is all.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgardsormr himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgardsormr had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgardsormr. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
Don't I always?
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Sounds bad. Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Oriange stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign, to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Baelsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgardsormr, legendary guardian of Silvertear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silvertear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's ceruleum engines failed, and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. That same explosion transformed Silvertear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing ether from malms around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center, a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emmeric's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It'd be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let's not neglect our own tasks. There's much to be done, and precious little time to do it. All right, I am on the job. Well, this should be interesting. Ah, there it is. You'll remember that cinematic, right, where they showed the events of that battle? Here, I'll put it up on screen again, so you can see. Pretty cool cinematic from the 1.0 era, in fact. I'll just show some clips of it, it's kind of long, but yeah, those are the important bits. And that's the aftermath, which you can almost see through the weather. Where's our Doman contact? Right around here. Here you are. Hello. You're in luck, sir. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then. The Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Well, from here that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrias, then climb to the top. It's the only viable approach, I'd say. Looks like we've got ourselves a dungeon. In fact, unless I'm mistaken, the last dungeon of A Realm Reborn. There's still some boss fights left, but this, I think, will be the last proper dungeon we run through, and it's a pretty good one. So I guess, let me get a crew together. Okay, team assembled. Here we go. We've got Lostara as our tank, a warrior, Lipa as a bard, and Kunoa as a white mage healing us, and I do very much appreciate it. This is a fun dungeon. I'm looking forward to it. Haven't done it in a while. Let's see. That one. 15 years ago, in the skies above Silver Tear Falls, the invading forces of the 14th Legion were set upon by a host of dragons. Leading the charge was Midgardsormr, legendary King of Kings, who engaged the Garlean flagship, the Agrias, in battle. In the end, both Midgardsormr and his foe fell to the earth, and their tangled remnants stand as a memorial to that day. A ruined airship, and the charred corpse of the worm lord who brought it low, forever devoid of life. Let's go check up on the place, shall we? Welcome to what's probably the final Realm Reborn dungeon, if I'm remembering correctly. It's a good one. And welcome to our very good crew. Loving the pose, loving the fashion, loving all of it. It's a good team already. Very excited. All right, well, let's get to it then, shall we? The final boss fight of this one is quite fun, and can be challenging. So we'll see how it goes. Large crabs. Still that good music, too. And Final Fantasy XI players will probably recall this fish model. It makes me so happy seeing Final Fantasy XI monsters come back in a much more fun to play MMO. I say it with love. And coming up on our first boss fight here. And it's an interesting one. Einhander. Notice those flying up there, carrying little containers? Something worth paying attention to. Well, not them specifically, but the containers will come into play. So the boss itself, not too scary or terrible, but those containers are going to become an interesting problem. See, they're coming into the field now. You can hit them to move them, which is good, because after a while, they are going to explode. So knocking them all kind of to the outside so you can all be safe on the inner edge is in your best interests. Oop, and there's some more, and the large one. And a couple back there near the tank. We'll probably have to shift our configuration in a second here. They won't explode till they start kind of glowing red. You'll know it when you see it. Oop. And the fire did it for that one, so I'm going to stand back from that one for a bit. Oop, never mind. Oh, okay. Forgot that it could draw us all in closer. Yow. That hurt. We're okay. Oh, geez. If this particular dungeon is good for one very special thing, it's keeping you on your toes. There's a lot of danger puddles to watch out for, with the last boss especially. The last boss especially has you moving around a lot to avoid constant threats. And it makes it pretty fun, honestly. Just steering clear of that one. There we are. We almost got this thing. Oh, there's a big one. Okay. Finish it. Finish it. Whew. Okay, it's dead. Well done, team. And on to the next little part. Ah, it's nice not being the one on fire for once. Let someone else handle the warrior responsibilities. I shall be jumpy. So, this stretch, which the Imperial seem to have taken over, has a bunch of security terminals that we need to get keys for to move further in. We'll also want to bring down these walls because this Colossus here can attack us from inside it, so we want to be able to get in to attack it. In fact, I'm going to go and hit this field conductor here to break it so that we can get in to fight that thing. Almost there we go. Now we can fight them all together. All right, got another key, and hopefully this will turn off that obnoxious alarm. Oh, thank goodness. So annoying. And now for the next boss. The Magitech gunship. Another one with some fun movement. There are certain places you will not want to be standing during this fight, and you will have no difficulty telling exactly where those places are. Well, there for one. That's one of the rare danger puddles where it's actually a prolonged attack that follows, so you can't just move right back into position or you'll keep on catching fire. Also those, don't want to stand in those puddles. When you see one of our party members kind of like have like one of the little targets appear over it, that means it's about to charge in our direction and leave a bunch of those puddles, so you kind of want to steer it in a direction where it's not going to just fill the entire space. It can get very easy to run yourself out of safe places to stand in this fight, if you don't sort of bait certain attacks where you want them to go. So, I am targeted, so I'm gonna lead him over here. There we go. Now I just gotta get clear and not be on fire. There we are. Oh boy. Not the best path to lead it down. That was my fault. Wasn't positioned super well. And I would say I'm trapped in, but a little jump will get me over there without standing in the fire too long. The mobility of the Dragoon's fun. Jumping's fun. Oop, it's targeting me again. I'm gonna lead it over here. You'll probably notice now that I've shifted into a damage dealer role that more mechanics in fights target me. When you're playing the tank, because you're getting targeted kind of by default a lot of the time, there's really not a whole lot of point in fancy attacks targeting you, so it's often the healers and damage dealers who are having to pay a lot closer attention to mechanics, because they're also the ones who are most likely to die if they get caught blindsided by one. So I'm gonna have to be a lot more mobile as a Dragoon. But I am equipped for it. I got some jumps. And now we're making our way up the actual, like, body of Midgardsormr to the top, which is very cool. And sort of getting bombarded by another airship as we go. So once when tanking this fight on a different character, this last boss fight, I had my wireless keyboard's power go out, or like run out of batteries, basically, in the middle of the fight, and I had to manage the rest of it only being able to use my mouse, which you can kind of do movement with your mouse, holding the left and right buttons down together. It's not ideal, though, especially in a fight where you have to move so much. I was very lucky the rest of the party was super competent. Anyway, here we go.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet? Thou hast forgotten the face of thy Lord. Remember, mortal, and fear me.
Okay. You're the dragon ghost, boss. Well, we're gonna fight Midgardsormr with some more good music. Come then, thou shalt be weighed in the balances. So yeah, just get ready to see danger puddles everywhere, of all varieties, big ones. Receive of my breath and ye shall live once more. So, now we can't damage Midgardsormr Ghost, we have to fight this dragon. And wear it down to wear his health down. And more danger puddles. Big ones. Big ones. You just gotta constantly be moving in this fight. I kind of love it. Ooh, big one. It's the most fun kind of challenge in this game, I think. Just mobility and positioning. Figuring out how to use all of your abilities optimally for optimal damage output, definitely fun, but having to do all that while on the run. Whoop. Also, we're going to want to take this thing out because it's holding something we're going to need to protect ourselves. Oh boy. Hit the button, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button. Hit the button. Made it. We had to hit that little smaller monster so it would drop that device so we could turn the device on so that we could power it on to shield us from that big blast that would have wiped us. There, that's one dragon down, and down at half health. Nice. Making good progress. Keep moving. Yep. And another dragon. Yeah. So many puddles of danger. Ah, okay. This one's rippling further and further out. You can escape it a few different ways, and I didn't. Oh boy. Get closer. I've been hit with the heavy status effect, so now I'm moving more slowly, which is real dangerous in this fight. Okay, I'm free. But yeah, like those attacks that sort of like cascade outward one after another, you can escape them by running just outside the largest ring, or you can wait for the inner, like, attack to go off and then run into that position real fast. You have options. Just gotta be thinking fast is all. Oh, wait, we got another one of these things. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Drop the payload. We need it. There it is. Oh boy. Hit it. There we go. Whew. Safety. Base. Wearing it down. Don't be standing there. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, the cascading one. Okay, so inside. Didn't work as well as I thought. Probably got the timing wrong. Or maybe this is one of those that doesn't work exactly that way because fight mechanics in A Realm Reborn and Heavensward aren't always super consistent, like they are in Stormblood. From Stormblood onwards. Oh boy. Danger everywhere. There, okay. Just a scrap of health left. Get him. Get outside that. Oh, that's gonna hurt. They don't call Dragoons floor tanks for nothing. We did it! Good job, everyone. You did great. Well done. It can still be a pretty challenging little fight, even if you're very experienced and well-geared. But you folks all did fantastically. Thank you very much, Lostara, Kunoa, and Alifa. Fun names, too. What a very good squad. Okay, it's time to get on with this story. There's so many good things.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. 7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
That's probably not good.
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing. Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more. The covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth our beginning and an end.
You may summon Midgardsormr by selecting the corresponding entry within your minion guide under Character in the main menu. Yeah, so, well, one, that could have gone better, but two, we have a custom, actual, in-story minion now. I mean, we've got a good handful of fun minions in here. Guess I've never really shown many of these off before. You've seen one or two, I guess, but, like, yeah, you saw our little Gooboo Sproutling, but there's also a little wind-up Rudy, and Squirrel Emperor, and wind-up Fran, and Nanamo, and all kinds of fun things. Where's this new, where are you? Ah, Midgardsormr. Father of dragons, keeper of the lake, bane of the 14th Legion. While it's difficult to believe the Yonglong pup could be any of these things, he assures you his current form is only temporary while he awaits the reconstruction of a new corporeal vessel. Which is kind of adorable. Hey, buddy. Just sticking with me now, huh? Okay. Well, I'll, update folks, I guess. I was beginning to fear the worst. Were those explosions I saw? But you shouldn't waste time talking with me. Alphino left a message stating that you were to return to the Rising Stones at once. Yeah, there's some updates to give, I guess. Hey, everybody. So, news. Have you spoken with Commander Leveilleur yet? He's been pacing again. Cute. 12, save me. Is it coming? What should we do? Oh, he's not? Well, no. Well, I mean, he is, technically. He's here, but he's much smaller and less immediately scary than you might think. That Lady Knight from Ishgard cuts quite a gallant figure, doesn't she? She does, doesn't she? We were able to locate those elusive manuscripts in the archives of the Thaumaturges Guild. I'd not spoken much with the new guildmasters, but thankfully they were quite willing to accommodate us in our search. That's cooperative of them. Though it may seem tedious when compared with the smiting of terrible foes, poring over crumbling scrolls is one of a scion's most important duties. Without the illumination of knowledge, we but vainly flail at specters in the dark. Well put. I will leave the book reading to you. I traveled to Ul'dah to meet with Thancred's friend, the one who promised us that rare ore, and she began cursing me with words I've only ever heard from the mouths of pirates. I still have no idea what she was so angry about. Thancred, what did you do? In hindsight, mayhap sending a lady in my stead was not the wisest of decisions. Pray ignore my ramblings. Just be good for once, ever. I must confess, the relationship between those crystal formations and the destruction of the Ascians quite escapes me. Professor Lambertin has published a thorough study on corrupted crystals and their properties. I highly recommend you procure yourself a copy of this work. I'm pushing ahead with my research as quickly as I dare. The next time you face an Ascian, I would have you fight with the proper weapon in hand. Can't believe I skipped all this, like, optional dialogue stuff my first time through. There's a lot in here. A lot of characterization you wouldn't get otherwise. So, updates. Praise the 12 that you're hale and whole. I came as soon as Minfilia informed me of Sir Emmerich's request. You've completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake, I take it? Then I would hear your report. Oh, find yourself a seat, bud. There's a lot. You conversed with Midgardsormr. I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I'd regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the Worm Lord did not perish and has in sooth lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more a rejuvenation for he who dwelleth in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emmerich immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgardsormr in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian's a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection, and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Emmerich's emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. Yeah, you're better with words than me. Is there something you're not telling us, Derman? You seem different somehow. 'Tis almost as if you're missing something. Something important. 12th for Fend, Midgardsormr stripped you of the blessing of light? Are you alright? How do you feel? I mean, okay. For now. I see. It's a relief to hear that you're otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgardsormr made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Althik and Nemia, brother Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgardsormr ever watch over the source, from which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and 'twas not the gods with whom he treated, but Heidelin herself? Well, if he's watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you'll have an opportunity to ask. Let's keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Oh, hello. Art thou a pawn, or master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? Just popping in to trash talk me.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Wormlord and lived to tell the tale. I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Boy, things are heating up, huh? The Ishgardians have warred with the Dravanians for centuries. Nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not once have their enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgardsormr who roared, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance and pray that our fears are unfounded. Indeed. Well, on that happy note, I guess I leave you for today. Have yourselves a lovely weekend, and I will see you next week for some more Final Fantasy XIV. Do take care, all of you. Until then, and goodbye.